everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessica Jerkon. I'm an aspiring author currently working on my debut novel, Boston's Vigilantes. I created my channel to document my self-publishing journey, to share my tips and tricks for writing, and to join the online writing community. Today's topic is something that I have struggled with in the past, and it is SNIS. So for those of you who don't know, SNIS stands for Shiny New Idea Syndrome. For those of you who don't know what Shiny New Idea Syndrome is, you are working on your own story and you love it, it's going great, and then you have a new idea and you're thinking about that idea and you feel the need to write on that idea because it is new, it is shiny, it's something that you haven't really thought about before, and because it's something new in your life, you want to focus everything on that. You feel the need to put your current project on hold and put your all into this new idea. And as much fun as it is, even if you do just pause your actual novel and start a new one, something that I have done before and it was a foolish decision. You're gonna have a new idea soon, and then you'll feel the need to stop working on the last new idea and focus on your new idea, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of like this endless cycle of you working on one particular story, and then you get a new idea and you want to focus on that because maybe it's something that you've never dove into before, or maybe you love the characters a bit more, or maybe you want to work on it just because it's new. And these are some of the tips that I do whenever I get Shiny New Idea Syndrome, because I know that in the past, and this was kind of, I think, last year or 2 years ago, if I'm not wrong, last year, I got this idea for a new fantasy novel, and I just loved it. It was great. It was something that I've never come up with a fantasy idea before. Usually my ideas are for different novels are action adventure. And I love this fantasy one because it dove into certain topics that I just said the word topics wrong. Weird. This story dove into certain topics that I never kind of explored before, and it has because I didn't publish it yet. It has this really different characters that I haven't written before, anything like them. So it was just new and I just loved it. And I put my actual novel on hold to focus on that. And it was a huge mistake. And a couple of months ago when I think were during the beginning of the year when I had a new idea, these are the tips that I used so I could focus on my actual idea instead of just focusing all my attention, and all that I wanted to do is work on a new idea. Number one is to understand that new doesn't always mean better. Just because it's a new idea, it doesn't mean that it's an idea better than the one you're working on at the moment. Because since it is new, since it's like a new toy, you want to play with it more and more and more and just forget your old toy. I don't know if this is the right example to compare the two things, but it's kind of like the way a little kid gets a new toy. The kid usually forgets about his or her old toys, and they want to focus on the new one. And just because it's new doesn't mean that it's better than the last one. It can, like my idea that I put everything on hold to start, it may have certain topics or certain characters that you want to explore, and that is great, that is fantastic. That means you have a great start when you need to start a new novel or a new story, but it doesn't mean that it's always better. I feel like there is this common misconception that usually people start a new novel because they think that the new idea is way better than not the old idea, but the idea that they have been working on. And I can understand where this mentality comes from, but it doesn't mean that it's always better. It can be different, and different is always good. I feel like it's always great to explore different genres, but just because it's different, you shouldn't really focus on something new. Number two is think about all the work you've put into your novel. I get that getting a new idea is always a great experience. It's a great feeling, and you really want to jump into writing it or outlining it or developing it. But you have to remember that you've put countless number of hours in your current writing, in your current WIP, and it would really be a shame to just put it on hold and start a new idea and focus on that idea when you could really focus on finishing the idea that you have worked on, the idea that you have put so many hours, that you have struggled so many times with. Because starting a new idea, it's going to take a lot of hard work. You really have to remember how many hours and how hard you worked on your last novel before starting a new one. Number 3 is really simple. Just try to control yourself. I know that this is way easier said than done, but controlling yourself and having discipline is a really incredible thing. And by taking a small step and controlling yourself from not dropping the current work in progress that you have and stay dedicated to that and not switch to a new project, is really going to help you further. It really helps with procrastination, or so that I have found in my own personal experiences, but control is really key. And number 4, if all else fails, just dedicate a couple of days to the new project. Normally I like to give myself like a week of pause from my current WIP and focus on the new story, because it's new, it's exciting, it's different, and of course you want to explore that. So maybe just a couple of days and focus on that. I know that one way that I like to deal is also work on my WIP and think about the new novel. So for example, if I'm taking a shower or if I'm going to school, on my way to school, I would usually think of the new story, so that way when I have to work, I still work on my actual story, the story that I'm focusing on. And I think and try to make to develop the characters and move the plot along in my head and create this whole new world, but still focusing on the project that is kind of most important. That is all I have for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I post new videos every Friday. So anyways, if you want to get in touch or just chat for a bit, you can go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jessica Sherkan. I always love meeting new authors and making new writer friends. That's one of the great things about being in the writer community. If you want to read the first chapter of my novel, the link is down below, so make sure to check it out. I hope you guys have a nice Friday and a fantastic weekend. Bye!